Hi, I'm Dr. Ido Paz. I practice internal medicine and cardiology, and I'm also the VP of Medical here at K Health.
And I'm Alon Mordell. I'm an emergency medicine doctor in the city, and I'm the medical director at K.
Headache is one of the most common complaints we see on the K Health app and also in our other care environments. When we think about headaches, we usually break them down into primary headaches or secondary headaches. A primary headache, like a tension headache or a migraine headache, is one in which the headache is really the only thing that's going on. The headache is not secondary to another problem that's going on in the body. One example of a secondary headache, for instance, might be a headache associated with a sinus infection.
A lot of things can cause a secondary headache. Any abnormalities in your body that'll throw you out of flux can cause you to develop a headache as a secondary sign. You know that when you're sick, or when you have a fever, or when you have a cold, or when you have the flu, you also have a headache. All those things are not because of a tension headache or a migraine. It's just a reaction your body's having to something else that's brewing.
When we're evaluating headaches, there's a lot of important questions that we're going to ask. These are things like, when did your headache begin? Where on your head does it hurt? What are some of the characteristics of your headache?
And we know that those questions seem canned in a lot of ways, but they help us hone in on what is driving that headache. What we want to know is this a headache that's coming from the head or from the body? And is this the kind of headache that will pass on its own, or we need to intervene on?
So there's a few tips that will help with pretty much any headache. Things like drinking plenty of fluids, taking Tylenol, taking Advil. But there are certain features of a headache which would raise some concerns about a more serious cause, a cause that might end up bringing you to the emergency department to see Dr. Mordell.
So the headaches I am worried about are not your tension headaches and not your migraine headaches. The things I worry about are, where else is this headache originating from? The best way to differentiate these is that tension headaches and most headaches are just pain, whereas the concerning ones have other things going on, whether they're fevers or numbness or tingling or weakness or trouble seeing. There's something else brewing along with your headache. The exception are migraines. So migraines will give you that, but you know what's going on with a migraine. If you never had a migraine in your life and you don't experience migraines and you're having symptoms of a headache plus something else, you gotta assume that's something more concerning until proven otherwise.
So if you have a headache that doesn't have some of those concerning symptoms that Alon mentioned, things like neurological deficits or the worst headache of your life, one thing you can do is download the K Health app. There you can complete a health dialogue and learn how people like you were diagnosed and treated.
And you can learn a lot more about what next steps you take, what you should watch out for. And if you still have more questions or are still concerned, you can press a button and talk to a doctor.